Hey guys, welcome back. As always, my name is Leyzar, and today we're going to be talking about Gara and/or Gara Prime. More specifically, her melee weapon. The more common build for Gara right now, or the most efficient, revolves around her second ability, Splinter Storm, and how high you can stack it. Now, of course, it basically stacks infinitely, and how high you can stack it, or how efficiently you can stack it, directly depends on how much damage you can get out of her first ability, Shattered Lash. Let's talk about this one before we get to the actual melee weapon. Shattered Lash has two damage types. You got puncture damage and you also got slash damage. And you might think basically it's doing 3600 damage, half is slash, half is puncture, but it's not actually true. There's two ways to cast her first ability. You can either tap it quick, like so, it's a ranged attack, or you can keep your key pressed down, and suddenly it's a frontal cleave-like ability. She basically makes a big, rod out of glass and knocks things down. The rod, the frontal cone-like ability, is gonna be slash damage, and the range attack is gonna be puncture damage. And now you know exactly the way to get the damage type out of her first ability. And you might say, hey, okay, why does that matter? Aha! Now we get to the stat stick part. First of all, what weapons are actually suited or suitable for a Gara stat stick? Anything. Any melee weapon you want whatsoever can be a stat stick for Gara, and I will show you exactly what kind of priority you got when it comes to the stats. But it is a smart idea to pick a weapon with a high Riven disposition so you can make use out of Rivens. Not only that, it's also a smart idea to pick a weapon that actually has some extra melee damage as an augment. Essentially, your number one stat priority for a Gara stat stick is gonna be flat old melee damage. No condition overload, no none of that stuff. Go for pure melee damage. That is priority number one, both for your mods and for your Riven as well. The most ideal weapon from my point of view, the Jaw Sword, the Mire, the Skana is a good idea as well because that one has an extra melee damage augment, but right now the one that has the higher Riven disposition is going to be the Jaw Sword. But if you got a Riven for the Skana, simply build the Skana. That said, after you put on as much melee damage as you can, again, you don't care about this, you don't care about the stance, you just want to get as much melee damage as you can. Pressure Point or Prime Pressure Point, Spoiled Strike, you don't care about the attack speed. Blade of Truth is the augment we were talking about earlier. This one costs 25,000 from the Arbiters of Hexes, and again the Skana has a similar one. And then we got Buzzkill. Buzzkill is a plus slash mod. Now if I have plus slash on my weapon, then I'm gonna have to use the arcing attack for Gara, the keep your key pressed down one. Now I do have the option to forget about slash and not put any slash on my weapon and go for puncture and use the second attack, the simple ranged attack, and in that case I would go for the 120% puncture mod, Auger Strike. Next, after that, go for elemental mods, my friends. The 90 elemental mods, but of course priority number one is gonna be for Prime Fever Strike. And when it comes, what does actually do more damage, the priority is like this. So, Prime Pressure Point, Spoil Strike, Blade of Truth, well actually like this. Blade of Truth because you also get the Truth augment as well, the Syndicate effect. Spoil Strike, Fever Strike, 165% Toxin, Buzzkill with 120%, then you get two 90s. Shocking Truth and Jagged Edge. When it comes to what's more important, dude, should I go for something like, I don't know, elementals, or should I go for more IPSs? Again, keep in mind to align all your IPS to the ability you're going to be using. Do not mix puncture and slash. You're either full on slash or full on puncture, depending on the ability that you chose, what you got on your Riven, and so on and so forth. Essentially, for a stat stick, IPS equals elemental. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about your combo. It's just an amount game. So 90% slash will gain you as much as 90% electricity. As for the Riven, same priority applies. Melee damage is number one, and then you can get yourself something like elemental or plus IPS. If you get plus puncture, build your weapon for puncture instead of slash. Again, you have the counterpart mods, 90% extra puncture, and you have 120% extra puncture mods, and these are Auger Strike, which you saw earlier, and you also got Sundry Strike as well. You also got this one, Rending Strike, but this one is 60% slash and 80% puncture. It's not really worth using since you're only really gonna get benefit from one of the stats depending on the ability that you chose to use. And that's pretty much it. This is how you build a stat stick for Gara. Now keep in mind, the damage output you're going to be getting isn't only about the stat stick, it's also about how you build your Warframe, but that's a story for another time. As always, my name has been Leyzar. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, favorite, share, and subscribe if you enjoy the content. And if you got any sorts of feedback, by all means, my friends, drop it in the comment section down below. And if you love the content, hey, consider supporting us via Patreon. Link in the cards right now. Until next time, my friends. Bye-bye. 1, 2, 3. Hey guys, welcome. Okay, go. You Akron. You want to do the intro? It's fine.
I didn't know you were starting.
Splinter Storm, and how high can you stack it? Haha! And how high can you stack it? Splinter Storm. And how high can you stack it? How high you can stack it? Most popular build right now for said Warframe is the one revolving around Splint. Why? Why'd you have to do that to me? Why? Why'd you have to do it?
It was going so well.
Why did you?
Oh, I was actually turning my mic off. I didn't realize that it turns it on when I turn it off.
Push the talk. Common build right now revolves around her free ability and how to get the most amount of damage out of it. Wait, that's not her free ability, that's her 2 ability. Popular build right now revolves around the following ability: Splinter Storm, and how high can you stack it? Now high. I hate myself right now.
You need a video of like gag reels.
Yeah.
Yes.